Yes, Hickok 45, your internet shooting companion, coming to you from the barren hills, cold hills of Tennessee, the home of, well, you know what, this week I think it's the home of a lot of viewers of Paul Harrell. Let's just shout out to Paul Harrell, because I know there are a lot of people in Tennessee that watch Paul Harrell, who is still with us, but just wanted to mention that as kind of a tribute. A lot of people watch Paul Harrell, including myself, and really enjoy him, have enjoyed him over the years, and wish him the best, and hopefully things are not as bad as they appear and all that. But anyway, just wanted to say that, it's just kind of a shock to a lot of folks, and that enjoy his style and his videos. He's just such an interesting fellow, and so knowledgeable and everything, so we wish him the best. Okay, and so it is the home, Tennessee, of a lot of people that tune in on their phones and on their computers and their TVs to watch his videos. Yeah, and will for a long time, I'm sure. So anyway, yep, here we are, and it's chilly, and it's winter time, and that's what I'll blame it on. You notice there's some holes in the paper target? I talk about forgetting to hit the record button and standing out here talking to the, really to the woods. That's what I did for a little bit. I did. Now my battery's probably low. But anyway, we'll keep it short. And since I've already talked to you, but I've got to do it again. And that's called what? Stupid tax. Dave Ramsey calls it. Yeah, you pay for it. It's easy to do. I'm really fortunate. I've not done it very often. I've done it, I think, of one other time, maybe in a Sunday video for a while, and I did it today for a while. So anyway, but that's what I get. But it gives me an excuse to shoot my prized firearm a little more. You see what I brought out? I bored y'all last year, the 150th anniversary of the Colt Single Action Army, right? Brought it out quite a lot, and I'll probably bring it out in the future quite a lot. Well, this year we have another anniversary, and I thought I'd go ahead and bring out the old Model 29 838 44 Magnum and shoot it some more, because it's the year for this gun. And if you've been with me a while, you know what I'm talking about, don't you? I bought this gun brand new, walked into the gun show, Nashville, Tennessee, at the fairgrounds, back in the good old days when we had gun shows at the fairgrounds. And I bought this. Carter Hardware. They were set up at the gun show. I had a table there. A hardware store in Nashville. I don't think they exist now. And they had a firearms department, like a lot of gun or hardware stores used to do. Some still do, I guess. And had a waiting period. Had to, get it the next week one day and all that kind of thing back in 1974. So pretty cool. I bought this in 1974, and guess how long that's been? Do the math. All right, let's pop some more animals and people. Is Clyde a people? I don't know where he falls. Oh yeah. Woo! Hard to miss with this thing. Yeah, I shouldn't have said that. Let's try the buffalo. See what I mean? Hard to miss. Just tough. Click. 6-shooter. Yeah, 50 years. That's a long time. It's kind of cool because it's not like something I had since birth. I was an adult when I bought this. Yeah, at least I was of age. I don't know if I was an adult, if I've ever been an adult, but I bought this in 74. I was teaching. I was a school teacher, and here I am buying guns. Sounds dangerous, right? So in 74 I bought that. So I bought it as an adult, and it's still been 50 years. So does that mean I've been around a while? I guess it does, doesn't it? Yeah. Well, I'm lucky. Yeah, I've been around long enough to enjoy this thing for 50 years. So it's kind of funny when people will, yeah, that's one advantage of being around a while. It's harder to get fooled on some things. You know, people will tell you about what to do, what not to do with the firearm, and or it won't last or whatever, or won't be accurate after, you know, so many rounds. Well, you can tell me all that stuff you want to, but this has got 75 to 80,000 rounds through it, and it's still just as accurate as I've ever noticed it being. And I have used the old method of cleaning out the lead with a jacketed bullet after I shoot a few. Not when I shoot too many. We got a video on that, but you know, and that's supposed to ruin the rifling and everything else. And you know, so it's a nice thing about being an older dude. You can take a lot of things with a grain of salt because it's not theory. You've been doing it for a long time, right? So, but this is my baby. It's you know, I just wanted a 44 Magnum back in the early 70s. I finally found one, and I loved it. And I shot this thing a lot. Oh man, did I shoot it a lot. I shot it more than any other gun for years and years and years, a decade or two. And then I never have quit shooting it. You know, you can tell I replaced had to have the trigger pin replaced, one ejector rod. I forgot what the deal was with the ejector rod, if it was bent or what, but I had to have that replaced I don't know, 20 years ago, whatever it was, and or longer. And but other than that, nothing. And you know I haven't replaced the grips, so you can tell those are old. This one's easy to spot in the safe. I can tell from the grips. And yeah, 50 years, man. What amazing. That's amazing. And I appreciate this firearm. Can I shoot it again? If I keep it much longer, I might need to be getting a degree at SDI myself, or I'm not going to be able to keep it going. I should have been working. If I had known I was going to have this thing, and I was going to live long enough to shoot this for 50 freaking years, maybe I'd been working on a gunsmithing certificate or degree myself, you know, planning ahead. You know, it is interesting to have something this long. You know, it's kind of wild. It almost doesn't compute. You know how fast time flies. You know, you're always surprised how time really flies by. Man, when it's 50 years, you bought something as an adult and you're still using it 50 years later. Yeah, there's no denying you've been around a while, right? So I'm just lucky to be healthy enough to shoot the thing still, right? So what did I put in it? Steinel or Fiocchi? I think Fiocchi. Boom, bullseye, accurate stuff. Let's wake up Clyde with this. That should wake him up. Yeah. It's kind of like a grizzly bear over there, isn't he? Yeah, all right. Nice. All right, what do I got to tell you? Hope you're enjoying the new thumbnails. John's doing that. So if you see them, thank him. If you don't, you know, but we got them on most videos. Some of them we won't be able to. We got older videos. We've got so even some federal videos, like I said. You know who our ammo sponsor is now. So it's pretty cool. It's neat. We always have focused on the gun. You know, the gun's a star of the videos, and in the thumbnails, you know, we like to get a close-up of the table or the firearms or whatever it is, and cool shot of the guns. And so with thumbnails, it's a little bit easier to do that, to get a really close-up sometimes. So anyway, I like that. I like that part of it. And John's comedy schedule. He's going to be on the road a lot here in these cold weeks. He's going to be at Tucson, at Laughs in Tucson, Arizona, this month on the 19th and the 20th. Okay, he's hosting, I think, there. So he'll be there both nights, January 19th, 20th, and then again January 26th and 27th. So if you're in that area, check him out. Or if you're in Hawaii, fly in and see him. He's pretty funny. Okay, so yeah. Here I am out here cold, in the cold shooting. I should be doing comedy, making jokes somewhere on stage, don't you think? Yeah. Oh yeah, I'd be a real hit. I couldn't make anybody laugh. I'm too busy shooting, and when it's too cold to shoot, I'm busy trying to organize some things, get some things cleaned up, you know, get my tax stuff together, you know, this time of year, getting all that, my spreadsheet, all my information, deductions and everything, and get all that to my CPA as soon as I get all the statements in and everything, 1099s, all that kind of stuff. But good thing I'm a little bit nerdy on some things, but man, if you're not, it's hard to keep up with all that, and you got to keep up with it right. You gotta do it, whatever system you use, but you gotta keep up with it right. And anyway, so yeah, here I am shooting my 50-year-old firearm and sharing it with you. You know, we did the last 44 Magnum I'd ever sell, and this one won. I think that was the first video we did like that, the last blank I'd ever sell. We've done about 10 of those, I guess. I've noticed some people copying that format, but this was the first one, I think, and this was the winner. Imagine that. And that's when I got to thinking, I think later when we were doing another one, and I had the same thing come up, and I thought, well, that's not right. We're going to do these. We need to eliminate the sentimental guns, okay? Because kind of part of the purpose is for your benefit. What would the thinking process be if I could only keep one of my shotguns or one of my 44s or whatever, one of my Glocks? You know? The sentimental issue, it brings another element into it that doesn't really do you any good. You know, it might be interesting for you to know that, you know, but so we got to doing just setting whatever the gun that's most sentimental aside, and then doing it, yeah, acknowledging it. And so we went back and did this one again. I think we did a chapter 2, right? And you know, and I actually chose a 6.5 inch, you know. But if this one's in the pile to consider, I'm not going to give it up because it's so sentimental. 50 years, wow. So, got some special from Underwood. 40. And I like this round. It's a 255 grain, you know, Keith type bullet. That's a nice bullet. That really is. It surely is. And if you don't know Elmer Keith, there's a huge, huge gap in your knowledge. Okay, that's all I can say. So I'm going to shoot some of these Keith bullets. Okay, see if I can hit anything with these. Pop the old cowboy and Clyde. Now, these things hit pretty hard. Probably went low. Yeah. Had to bring it up just a little bit with the special. Click. Yeah. I like those. I like those. So yeah, I had to have a 44 Magnum back in '74. Right in the middle of the Dirty Harry craze, and was so happy to find one. And yeah, here it is, still cranking after all these years, all these rounds. Quite a firearm. Just accurate as ever, fun to shoot, feels good. I've never changed the grips on this one. With my large hands, I just like those big old grips, and they feel pretty good to me. So, yeah. Can't argue with that. You know, yeah, it's hard to imagine back in the 70s. You travel back in time, and I'm trying to think about, you know, I was teaching at the time, and I was so excited to get this thing. I'll never forget having it and getting it home finally after that waiting period. And my neighbor lived next door. I was in an apartment, and had just been out of college for like a year. And or less, and And he wasn't, you know, he was, yeah, that's pretty cool, but you know, he didn't. I remember being disappointed that he wasn't as excited as he wasn't excited about it. You know, I actually found a 44 Magnum, you know, but he wasn't really a gun guy. I don't know what I was expecting. I was dumb and young, right? But it is a time when you couldn't just tune up any movie you wanted, you know, in the 70s. There were no VHS. It wasn't even a VHS yet. Beta, or any of that, you know, and unless the movies came around, you couldn't see a Dirty Harry movie or whatever. You know, it's just different world, probably a better world, yeah, in a lot of ways. But yeah, it was cool. It was cool. What else could I shoot? I'm gonna keep this one short since I've already talked to you some before you got here, and I'll just blame that on you all. You should have been here. You know, I don't know. Just because I forgot to turn the camera on shouldn't be, you know, a reason for y'all to miss all the genius I have to share. Let's try a little Stein. Okay, put the gun on the box. That's cool. Oh, that might mean you can only shoot it in that gun, though. That looks like, that's a single action of some kind, so I can't shoot it in this, I think. It's like the no guns allowed signs on doors. You know, it's a little joke. It's always, I don't know, it may be a Beretta, you know, or a 92 or a revolver. What else is common on those no gun signs you see? And of course the joke is, well, okay, I'm good. I don't have a Beretta. I've got a Glock. Or it might be a Glock. I don't know if I've seen a Glock on one of those. Glock needs to get their share of advertisement on there, don't they? Anybody ever seen a high point on one of those? All right, little Steinel 44 mag. Okay. How about one of these, Clyde? Yeah, that's got some punch. How about you, cowboy? Yeah, knocks you around too. How about you, piggy? Boy. How about you, propane? Yeah, oh, 5. Let's shoot another one. Let's hit that cowboy again. Yeah, all right. Big old Dirty Harry revolver. Hard to beat, hard to beat. Yeah, I will probably shoot this some this year. And we'll do a video. The 50-year anniversary, that's a big one. That's the biggest anniversary that we've done on one of my firearms, of course. And I don't know, they may not be, I don't have any that are close to that. I've got some 40, I guess. So, yeah, so that's a big one, 50 years. Very fortunate to be able to do this for 50 years, to shoot for 50 years. Big guns, little guns, powerful guns, 12 gauge, whatever, 44 mag, and and be healthy enough. I never take that for granted. I really don't. I mean, a lot of people don't live to 30 or 40 or 50, or they're infirmed, or they're in a wheelchair when they're 50 or 60. Or just things happen. Yeah, life is tough. Accidents or disease, just have some kind of crippling ailment, or be born with it, all that kind of thing. So that's good advice for young people. Here's my advice for young people today. Appreciate what you have, man. See that glass half full. Yeah, I mean, this gun is, in a way, should serve as an example of that. Well, I don't know if it's an example, but I mean, the fact that I appreciate it, and I'm talking about this, is kind of my example, I guess, because, you know, I'm very, very fortunate to have, well, first of all, been able to buy this. I was a dumb school teacher, poor school teacher, and scraped up the money to buy it in '74. And I've been able to keep it fed up to 75, 80,000 rounds over the years for 50 years and shoot this thing. And, you know, pop targets, I'm not popping bottle caps over there or anything, of course, but, you know, hit what I want to hit that's fun to shoot at range or close up with a powerful 44 Magnum, and that I've had 50 years. So again, I don't take it for granted at all. I think about those things. How, wow. Yeah, because we all know people who have gone on, you know, or are sick, have problems. And I could make a long list of people that, friends, family, they're no longer here, you know. And so anyway, just we don't want to take those things for granted. If you're up walking around right now, you can get in a car and drive somewhere. You're way ahead of a lot of people, right? First of all, you're alive. You're on this planet, and you can breathe in and see the beautiful sights, and you can shoot a 44 Magnum if you have one. So anyway, yeah, that's my advice for young people. Don't get all caught up in things that don't matter that much. A lot of things matter. They matter a lot. If you want to have a career and you want to not be broke, you want to be healthy, there are a lot of things that matter that you need to take into consideration and be working on. But enjoy life and appreciate, you know, what you got. So we're all a lot better off than most people on the planet. You know. So anyway, that's my advice for what that's worth. And my last piece of advice is you should own a 44 Magnum if there's any way possible. Okay? You really need a 44 Magnum in your life. Well, no, but you do need a revolver. It doesn't have to be a 44. It could be because you could get some lighter loads, cowboy loads, they call them. 44 special loads aren't that harsh on you. So if you just wanted a 44 Magnum, if you wanted to put a Magnum in there and, you know, shake Clyde's frame with it, I mean, that's fine too. But, or, you know, if a water buffalo wanders into your front yard, you got it. But you could shoot 44 special. It's not cheap and very comfortable to shoot, just like 38 special in a 357 Magnum. So yeah, if you just, you know, 44 would be cool. I've never had one or something. So here I am trying to sell 44 Magnums. Anyway, very, very cool revolver, and I'm lucky to have had it for so long. And we will plan a special video with it. Oh yeah, and I brought out the holster. This is the holster I bought when I bought the gun, and it's a Bianchi. I forget the model on that. It snaps, and there it is. That's the rig. Had it a long, long time. Yep. It's a Bianchi. It's got a, what is the number? Oh, it's worn so much I can't, something 5 BHL. Part of it's worn off. Large revolver, Smith & Wesson, S&W. So it's got the thumb brake, pull her out. That's the way it works. So did I thank everybody? I think I did. Alabama holster, I don't think I did. Let's see, how many Alabama holsters do I have? I've got my phone holster. Let me put my phone back in my Alabama holster. And let's see if I have another one in my pocket. Yep, I sure do. So we appreciate Alabama holster. They make a lot of cool Kydex holsters. I don't have it on all the time. I wear it sometimes, but I like that flapjack outside the waistband belt holster a lot too. I've been wearing that some lately, especially in winter. I have a cover garment. It's pretty nice. So appreciate them helping us, and Talon grips, Ballistall, and of course Gun Fun Targets for making our targets. Also appreciate Clarksville Guns and Archery, because all my guns come in through them, and I'm up there a lot picking up a gun and everything. They're good people up there. It's hard to believe it, but they're pretty good people. Most of them are out on parole, I think. I tell them. Just kidding. But yeah, Clarksville Guns and Archery's a great gun shop up in Clarksville. We appreciate their help. And I'm going to let you go. And mostly I appreciate you all tuning in and, you know, watching. Except for today. You were late. You were late. You should have been here before I turned the camera on. That way you wouldn't have missed all my brilliance before you got here. Yeah. So, yeah, I've talked to you today more than you know, more than you actually heard. Yeah, I knew it would happen. That's why the target shot up before you got here. I blasted the target, talked to you, told you how pretty you were and everything. Yeah. So anyway, I'll let you go, and I'll see you next Sunday. Hopefully it won't be too cold to come out here. Life is good.